Hi everyone, welcome back to English Lab. I'm Luis. Today we have the fourth B2 short story. This one is about one of the most difficult human experiences, learning to let go. It's a story about loss, about attachment, about accepting what we cannot control, and about finding peace in surrender. Download the study guide PDF in the description for advanced vocabulary, comprehension questions, and reflective prompts. This is a story about grief and wisdom. Let's begin! I want to tell you about the most important lesson I've learned as an adult. It's a lesson about letting go. My grandfather was the most important person in my childhood. His name was Antonio. He was a kind man, a wise man, a man who shaped who I became. He taught me how to read. He took me on adventures. He listened to my dreams. He believed in me. He was present in a way that my father wasn't, and I loved him deeply. When I was 12 years old, my grandfather had a stroke. He survived, but he wasn't the same. He lost some of his ability to speak. He lost his independence. He lost the ability to do many things he loved. Over the following years, I watched him decline. Slowly, imperceptibly at first, and then more noticeably. He became frailer. His mind started to fog. He had good days and bad days, more and more bad days. And I couldn't accept it. I tried to fight against his decline. I denied it. I said, he's going to recover. He's going to get better. He's going to be the way he was. But he wasn't. He wasn't getting better. He was getting worse. When I was in my 20s, I started researching cures. I thought maybe there was a new treatment, a new therapy, something that could reverse what was happening. I spent money on expensive supplements. I drove him to various doctors. I was convinced that if I just tried hard enough, if I just looked hard enough, I could fix this. But I couldn't. I couldn't stop time. I couldn't reverse aging. I couldn't prevent illness. I couldn't fix my grandfather. And that realization that I was powerless was devastating. It was the first time in my life that I encountered something I couldn't overcome with effort and will. Then, when I was 28 years old, my grandfather died. He had been declining for so long that the actual death wasn't a shock, but it was still a rupture. It was still profound loss. At his funeral, I didn't cry. I was numb. I thought I had already grieved. I had been grieving his decline for years. But after the funeral, something broke in me. I realized that I had spent so many years trying to save him, trying to fix him, trying to keep him alive, that I had forgotten to actually be with him. I had forgotten to just sit with him and enjoy his presence. I had forgotten to listen to him, to hear him, to know him in those final years. I had been so focused on not letting him go that I had let him slip away without ever really being present. That realization haunted me for years. The regret was intense. It took me a long time to understand something. Letting go is not about abandonment. Letting go is not about not caring. Letting go is about accepting what is, rather than fighting for what was. My grandfather was changing. That was the reality. And instead of accepting that reality and being with him in that change, I was denying it and trying to reverse it. And in doing that, I was missing him. I was missing the opportunity to know him as he was in those final years, not as I wished he would be. Years later, I had another experience that deepened this lesson. I was in a relationship that I loved deeply. I thought this person was going to be my life partner. But over time, I realized that the relationship wasn't working. We had different values. We wanted different things. We were growing in different directions. For a long time, I held on. I tried to fix it. I thought, if I just try harder, if I just love more, if I just change myself, maybe I can make this work. I held on so tightly that I was suffocating both myself and the relationship. One day, my partner said to me, "You love me, but you don't accept me. You're always trying to change me or fix me or make me into someone else. I can't be with someone who can't accept me as I am." That hit me hard, because she was right. I was holding on so tightly to what I wanted the relationship to be that I wasn't actually present in the relationship as it was. And in that moment, I understood the lesson my grandfather had tried to teach me through his death. Letting go is not about loving less. Letting go is about loving fully, while simultaneously accepting that some things are not meant to stay. So I let her go, and it was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But it was also one of the most important things I've ever done. Because when I finally let go, I stopped suffering. I could see clearly. I could wish her well without desperately holding on. I could acknowledge that she was a beautiful part of my life, without needing her to be my entire life. A profound lesson about accepting what we cannot control and finding peace in that acceptance. Download the study guide PDF to explore the advanced vocabulary from this story. Impermanence, attachment, rupture, suffocating, courageous, and more. The guide includes comprehension questions, discussion prompts about loss and acceptance, and reflective writing activities. Now let me share the essential wisdom of this B2 story. And she was freed too. She could move forward without feeling the weight of my desperate attachment. Now, years later, I've learned that letting go is not weakness. It's not giving up. It's not about not caring. Letting go is one of the most mature, most powerful, most courageous things a person can do. Letting go means I care about this person, tosh, thing, situation. And I also accept that I cannot control it. I cannot force it to be the way I want it to be. And I choose to release it, to trust in what comes next, to accept what is rather than fight for what was or what might be. This has become the foundation of my peace. Because so much suffering comes from trying to control what cannot be controlled. So much suffering comes from denying what is true in order to cling to what we wish were true. I've learned this lesson with my career. There was a project I was deeply attached to. I had invested years in it. I thought it was going to be my life's work. But market conditions changed. Interest shifted. The project didn't take off the way I had hoped. For a long time, I held on. I kept investing time and energy and money. I kept hoping it would turn around. But finally, I had to let it go. I had to accept that despite my attachment, despite my efforts, it wasn't meant to happen. And when I finally released it, I was free. I was free to see what else was possible. I was free to invest my energy in other projects that did take off. I was free from the weight of desperate attachment. This is what I've learned. Life is full of letting go. Childhood gives way to adolescence. Adolescence gives way to adulthood. Jobs end. Relationships end. People die. Bodies age. Health fails. Everything we cling to eventually slips through our fingers. The question is not, how do I prevent loss? The question is, how do I love fully while accepting that nothing is permanent? And the answer to that question brings profound peace. Because when you accept impermanence, when you accept that everything changes, when you accept that you can't control most of what happens, then you can finally stop struggling. You can finally stop suffering. You can finally be present. So my advice is this. Notice what you're clinging to. Notice where you're holding on too tightly. Notice where you're denying reality in order to maintain an illusion. And then practice letting go. It doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you give up. It means you care deeply while also accepting what is true. And in that balance, you find peace. My grandfather taught me that through his death. My failed relationship taught me that. My failed projects taught me that. And every day I practice letting go a little more. And every day I become a little more at peace. This is the fourth B2 short story. We've explored major life decisions, losing and finding yourself, transformative friendships, and now learning to let go. The study guide PDF in the description has everything. Advanced vocabulary, comprehension questions, deep discussion prompts, and writing activities. Thank you for joining us through these B2 stories. You've engaged with complex themes, advanced vocabulary, and profound human experiences. You've become not just a better English speaker, you've become a more reflective, more thoughtful human being. If you've loved these B1 and B2 short stories, subscribe to English Lab and turn on the notification bell. We have more stories coming every week, plus our podcast series continues. Comment below, what is something you're holding on to that you need to let go of? What would change if you released it? Thanks for listening to all 4 B2 stories. Take care of yourselves. See you in the next English Lab video.